Hello guys, I am Language-Enthusiast speaking. Today is, I don't know what day is it today. Today is Friday and about the date, I'm not sure. Yesterday was October 11th, 12th, so maybe today is probably 12th or 13th. I'm not sure because I'm not sitting in front of my iPad as usual. As you can see, probably I'm driving now. I'm on my way to the dentist again. This is my third visit. Fourth visit. Okay, today is gonna be my fourth visit, and I'm a little bit nervous because you never get used to going to the dentist, right? You always feel a little nervous and anxious, right? But I took to the laughing gas, happy gas, and today they are going to give me happy gas again. So I am a little thrilled about it. I'm excited about it because it makes me feel that I'm drunk. Physically, normally, in real life, I can never experience this feeling because I don't drink. Oh, can I go? Because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't do anything that costs money. No, I don't. Because I'm not affluent, I'm not rich, I'm okay financially, and I'm retired now. I went out of business last month, but they have been asking me if it is really okay for me to close the shop, online shop. And my online shop, the company which dealt with my online shop, it's a platform, okay? It's a platform, and they have been asking me if I would still want to open my shop again. If I'm not thinking about closing the shop permanently, maybe it's still okay for me to come back. But I'm determined because my heart is not there, not in this business. I'm not interested in this business anymore, so I don't think I will ever get back to where I was. Alright? And let me introduce myself for people who listen to this recording for the first time. Okay, briefly. Yesterday I introduced myself. I tried to introduce myself because I always do this impromptu. I always play it by ear, and I even don't know what is happening, what is going on myself. So okay, let me introduce myself, or let me practice introducing myself again, because the more I do it, the better I can get at introducing myself, right? Naturally, gradually, over time. So you don't have to be in a hurry to improve your English because it does take time. So you have to understand this. I'm not in a hurry. I used to be in a hurry. I was so frustrated. I used to be so frustrated. But since I understand that language learning takes time, I'm not as frustrated as I used to. This is a good sign, I guess. Okay, let me practice introducing myself. Okay, I'm Language-Enthusiast. I live in Japan, but I'm not gonna tell you my real name, where I live in Japan. But I'll tell you, I'm in my late 50s. I'm a 59-year-old Japanese woman who started studying English at the age of 28 from scratch. Okay, I've never been abroad. I've never studied abroad, of course. And where can I go? Where can I go to the dentist from? I wonder. Which way should I take? Which is the fastest way? I have an appointment at 6 p.m. and yes, and now it's 9 minutes earlier than 5 p.m. So I think I have enough time. Okay, let me get back to where I was. I'm in the middle of introducing myself, right? So and I started studying English from scratch when I was 28, when I had 2 daughters, and my 3rd daughter was on the way. Until a little while ago, I started being interested in English. I just wondered if someone like me, who was not a very good student, who didn't study English at all in school, could be a pretty good English speaker. I really wanted to try. I was curious about it, and I decided to study it. But there was another reason why I started studying English from scratch at the age of 28, which was, just I said, I had 2 daughters, right? And my oldest daughter, first daughter, was going to school from April. As you might know, in Japan, school year starts in April. So, but I think that yes. So, we bought a desk for her to study, and it made me want to study something myself. And I chose English because I wasn't a good student, and I didn't study English at all in school. And I was curious about, what if I started studying English from scratch? Is it really possible for me to be a pretty good English speaker? And oh yes, and I didn't say that there was another reason, right? The reason why I wanted to study English, another reason why. Okay, sorry, my speech was quite messy because I'm driving now, okay? My brain has to deal with so many things at the same time, and I have to drive safely, right? Oh my goodness. And oh my goodness, please, this bus, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have been here. Oh my goodness. There was a bus, huge bus. It's a public bus. Not bad, okay, it's a bus, and it suddenly tried to change the lanes because of that car, which was parked at the very far left side of the road. I mean, in Japan, we left side, okay, we drive on the left side, okay, totally opposite from the way they drive in the US, okay. Anyway, the bus tried to change the lane, and I thought that the bus and my car would almost collided each other. But the driver of the bus is a professional driver, right? So I thought I could depend on him, probably him, not her. I've never seen female bus driver in my entire life. I wonder if there is any female driver in my area. I'm not sure. Maybe because we didn't used to have any female taxi driver, but now it's not normal, but it's not unusual. It's no longer unusual. So okay, anyway, where was I? Anyway, yeah, there was another reason, which was in those days I was pretty young mother with 2 children at that time, and as I said, my 3rd daughter was on the way, in my body, in my stomach, in my womb. Okay, anyway, and in those days it was kind of popular. It was not completely popular, but it was getting more and more popular for mothers to let their young children or child to learn English, okay, and it was becoming more and more popular, fad or something. And since I'm a kind of person who doesn't want to do anything that others want to do, so I'm a bit whimsical, I'm a bit weird, I'm bigoted, okay, I'm bigoted or bigot, I don't know, anyway, so I decided not to let my children English. Instead, I decided to study it myself, because deep down I didn't like those mothers who feel proud of, who would feel proud of themselves just letting their kids learn English even though they didn't speak English themselves. So I didn't want to be like them, actually, and I decided to study English in May because I had a miscarriage. I'm sorry, if this English is wrong, I had a miscarriage. I said that. Did I say that my daughter was on the way? Yeah, it's strange. It was strange. It was not right. Yeah, anyway, before studying English at the age of 28, I had a miscarriage, okay? And then I was lying on the bed, depressed, because I had miscarriage, okay? And I was watching TV. It was educational TV, ETV, and what is so-called education TV in Japanese. And this very interesting program was on, and I was just watching. And I was a bit interested in English at that time, but I hadn't started studying English yet. But the program was that this American teacher, young teacher, who seemed to be in his late 20s or so, this young teacher, American teacher, goes to Japanese junior high schools. Some Japanese junior high schools, public schools, okay, and he teaches English to those junior high school kids or junior high school students. I mean, 7th graders, 8th graders, okay. And what interested me most was that since those students were already old enough to feel embarrassed when speaking in their foreign language, which is English, no matter how hard the teacher, I mean this American guy teacher named Gary, told them to repeat after him or something like that, they wouldn't want to do it. They wouldn't even be interested in doing it. They seem to pretend that they were not interested in it. And it was quite funny to me because when I was in junior high, we didn't have such native English speaking teachers at school. So I had never experienced this situation. But that was quite new to me, and I was so interested in it. And then it got me thinking that if I started studying English from scratch, like junior high school students, because we start learning English in those days from junior high school, and now elementary kids like 3rd graders, 4th graders study or learn English at school. But in those days, we would start learning English, studying English at the age of 12, 13. So if I had to study English again, I had to study like junior high school kids, right? So I was just curious about this, and I started studying it through listening to radio programs this National Broadcasting Corporation would offer almost for free. We had to buy the textbook, but which cost pretty economical, like $2 to US dollars. In those days, 300 yen or so. Okay, and I'm afraid that this is gonna be again a pretty long introduction, so I want to make it shorter. Okay, anyway, so I've never been abroad. I've never even I've never studied abroad. I've never even been abroad. So, but since I love English so much, I love the sound of English. Its rhythm. It's like music. And because I'm a music person, and anyway, I play the piano, and I play the guitar, and I play the bass guitar also. And I learned how to play the drums also. And the year 2000, sometime between the year 2019 to the year 2021, because I came down with colon cancer the year 2012. 22 last year, and it's been almost more than 1 year since I had my colon cancer operation. My stage was 1B, so which is pretty light, not so serious, and so I didn't have to have any anti-cancer drug or anti-cancer treatment, which was really fortunate for me. And through this experience, after the operation, I really want to improve my English again, because I said that I started studying English at the age of 28, and for the next several years I studied pretty hard, and my English improved so much. But when I was 34, I got divorced with $3. So I have to be the breadwinner. I had to work. But since I wanted to study English, I wanted to keep studying English, I chose the job which would allow me to listen to English while working. And I started working as a driver, a very early shift driver. And I kept studying English on and off ever since then. But sometimes I completely stopped studying English. But my English level was good enough to understand English dramas and English movies to some extent. So I was quite satisfied with it, with myself. But and at the age of 40, I quit the driver's job, and I decided to change jobs to my very first white-collar job. And it was a part-time job, contract job. I'm not sure, but anyway, I started working for this pretty famous trading company, because I thought that I could use my English for the job. But it turned out that there was no such thing as English speaking jobs for the company, okay, which was disappointing. But anyway, my English was not that good, in fact. So if I had any chance to use my English there, I don't think I could have been helpful enough. Oh my goodness. Behind my car, there's this pretty big car, who is driving? A woman? Or young person? Young guy? I don't know, but he's speeding so much, and he's so obtrusive. Is it okay for me to use this word now in this context? Obtrusive and offensive. Yeah. Okay, anyway. And but I decided to quit the job after 1 year, since the boss turned out to be my high school senior. He was 2 years older than I was, and we graduated from the same high school. So the boss was kind of friendly to me, which was good, but a bit too much. And when I told the boss that I wanted to quit because I thought that the working environment was not where I should be in at that time. Because that was my very first time white collar job, right? Clerical work, actually. And everyone is obedient. Everyone was obedient to the boss. And yeah, that was quite mortifying. I felt mortified. And especially I had to work with several female workers who were all much younger than I was. They were my daughter's age. I was 40, right? And they are all in their 20s, and I was the newest. And it was quite difficult for me to be in that kind of situation. And yeah, from when I was younger, I'm not good at working for a company, actually, especially full-time. And I had never worked full-time in my life. I have never worked full-time in my life. Because for me, it looks like I'm incarcerated or I'm in prison. I was in prison. So, because I have to be in the same place for a long hours, 9 to 5. And especially for the trading company, I started working at the age of 40. They had lots of overwork, so I couldn't come home. Usually I pretty late, and everybody seemed to be happy about it. And some of them were quite happy to work without extra pay, I don't know which. I thought it was crazy, and I didn't work with such people, to be totally honest with you, and I decided to quit. And after that, I had to be still the breadwinner, right? So I started selling goods I found in my area, in supermarkets, in malls, and drugstores, wherever. And resell it on the Japanese auction site. And in those days, it was pretty easy to sell things. I mean, second-hand things or second-hand goods or whatever, anything, like even supplements. Nowadays, they can't sell supplements or some other things on the internet, online, auction sites, because they have to be eligible, they have to be entitled, or they need certification to sell certain items. Yeah, it's natural, right? But in those days, things were much lenient and more relaxed, and so it was such a very good old days. And eventually I started selling Japanese goods on eBay, which is the auction, foreign auction site in America, right? And in those days, that was very good time, and our Japanese goods sold like hotcakes, and I was able to earn good money by selling Japanese goods on eBay, and I was able to use my English there. I would exchange messages with my customers in English, and it helped me improve my English so much, I guess. And after that, before that, I applied for a teacher position at children's cram school. I was going to be an English teacher. I was going to be an English teacher for kids at a cram school. And on the job training, doing my on the job training, I was sacked. I was fired for some reason. They told me that their business was not good and they couldn't hire the new person. They couldn't keep hiring a new person anymore, which was about me. But now that I guess that they were just lying, because it was a white lie, I guess. Because I have only a high school degree, and since it was a cram school, all the teachers have university graduate. All the teachers graduated from university, and I was the only person who only graduated from high school. So they didn't like me very much. And since I had an English certification, and none of them had at the time. But it doesn't show. It didn't prove that my English was very good, because I passed a certain test, but my speaking skills were not very good. But since anyway, no, this is not important. Okay, I try not to talk about this anymore. Okay, and anyway, I was fired, and then I guess I started selling goods on Japanese auction site, and then I moved on to eBay. Okay, and then where was I? And since then, and in the year 2008, Michael Jackson passed away, and then because of that, I happened to find this t-shirt that Michael Jackson was wearing in one of his DVDs, and then it sold like hotcakes. Again, it was incredible. It was incredible. Okay, marvelous. And ever since then, I started selling American t-shirt, American TV character t-shirt, movie character t-shirt, band t-shirts. I should have said them in plural, right? Okay, band t-shirts, movie t-shirts, cartoon characters t-shirts like South Park, Simpsons, Family Guy, or something like that, and of course superhero t-shirts. On my website, I started my website that year 2011 or somewhere, and ever since then until last month, I was working for that job, shop owner, as a shop owner. But I have to be very careful because the road is pretty jammed, and there is a policeman checking if we are wearing a seatbelt. Wow. But I'm okay. I'm perfect. I'm wearing my seatbelt, and I'm not using my smartphone while driving. I'm just speaking, practicing speaking like this. But yeah, it is not illegal, right? It's legitimate. Just talking to my iPhone, right? Okay, anyway. And again, I started studying English very hard the year 2016 or 17, okay, because I thought that my English level was not enough. I was not satisfied with my English 100%, and I tried to pass the notoriously difficult test called step test, first grade. I've tried this several times before until then, and I even passed the first round written test a few times so far, but I was not satisfied with myself because even though I passed the first round written test, I never be comfortable about the second round interview test, like IELTS speaking test, okay? Because I didn't know what speaking English was all about even at that time. My speaking skills was not very good, and I was always not confident about my speaking, and at the same time I really wanted to improve my reading skills. So for 4 months before I took the test, I studied so hard, extremely hard. Mainly, I did so many workbooks, and especially this textbook for English reading comprehension, which was quite complicated. I did it twice or 3 times, and the more I did it, the easier the problems began to become, okay, and I was quite surprised. And then when I took the test, just before the test, I just practiced. I did a mock test for myself, and I was so surprised because I did almost perfect score for the reading test. I didn't know why, because suddenly I was able to understand English very well, much better than before. I think that's because of my extremely hard studying, strenuous work, reading work, I guess. Thanks to it, my reading comprehension and also my vocabulary improved so much without knowing. And when I took the test, I got much better score. I didn't get the perfect score, but if I couldn't have got that good score before, and I was satisfied with it, but still I was not confident with my speaking, so I just skipped. I had to skip the second round test. Okay, I didn't know how to start, where to start in the first place. I wasn't able to express myself very well at that time, and I even didn't know what speaking English was all about. Okay, and then I started having dog, and one dog becomes two dog, and two dogs becomes 6 dogs. Okay, because I have this tendency called bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed with this several years ago, and so when I'm high, I tend to collect. Okay, I tend to gather many things, and I'm very sorry to say this, but at that time I was very interested in having dogs because I love dogs so much, and I ended up having as many as 6 dogs. And later I had to leave them. I have to say goodbye to them, 4 of them though, because I found out that I had colon cancer, and my stage was still unknown, and all I was able to do was to find good owners, good lovers, good dog lovers for each of them. And I did, thanks to the help of this president, the president of this dog trimming salon that I always use for my dogs. Thanks to him, I was able to find good, affluent, affectionate dog owners for all of them. 4 of them, okay? And now I have the remaining 2 dogs now, and they make my life richer. Okay, I'm grateful for them. Okay, anyway, where was I? Yes, English. So I never satisfied with my speaking, and I even didn't know how to improve my speaking because English was my first foreign language, my second language, and this is my very first time to tackle the language learning, right? To tackle with language learning. So no wonder I had no idea what to do. And I almost forgot about my English because I started having dogs, and I found out that I had colon cancer, and I went through so many things, and English was about English. I was totally oblivious to my English because anyway, I was able to survive without English anyway. But after I went through the colon cancer thing, I realized that life is short, And if there's something that I really want to do in my life, I should do it now, because life is short. You never know if you are alive tomorrow, right? And I decided to face with English. I decided to improve my English, and I thought that this was going to be my very last time. If I was not successful, I could not be successful, I should give up, and I would never give it a try. I was very, very determined. And that was about 4 months ago, when I became extremely serious about my English. But several months before that, I already started my new method, which was just listening to English, as much English as possible. I borrowed this method from someone else on YouTube, and they all said that just listening to the target language will make you fluent. And that was quite skeptical to me, so I was really curious to try it, and I did it for about 2 months or so. But probably just doing it for 2 months was not enough, I guess, in the first place, and there was not a huge difference didn't happen, and I had to give it up, and that was in July this year, probably in July or in June or July this year, and I decided to improve my English in a traditional way at first. And about 72 days ago, I started this speaking practice I do all by myself, in which I speak to myself, which is monologue, right? And try to see if this is effective. And now I'm doing this. I have been doing this for 72 days or so. This is my, I guess, 73rd day. And many things. I began to find out many things by doing this practice. Okay, I am at the dentist now, safely. Oh, thank goodness. I'm very happy about it. But okay, there is a parking space here available. Thank goodness. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful for it. I don't have to worry about my parking space, which is really, really fortunate. Okay, I parked my car here, and I tried to make my introduction very short, but no, today I talked too much, and my introduction didn't finish. But that's okay, because this is just practice, and day by day I will elaborate it to make it better, right? I'm allowed to do this in my practice, because this is where I'm open to anything. It's totally okay for me to make mistakes, to try new phrases, because in this place I won't hurt anyone's feelings by trying new things, right? So I can be as positive as I can be here. So that's why I love speaking in my practice now. I used to feel nervous, much more nervous when I start this practice. I mean, yeah, I was so nervous. I used to feel so nervous about this practice, and several times I really wanted to quit. But now I feel quite excited about this. Yeah, I feel much more excited about this, and I love this practice. Yeah, I'd rather love. Is it okay for me to use this one? I love this practice now because it makes me open-minded. It makes me intuitive. Okay, it gives me a sense of freedom, sense of fulfillment, sense of satisfaction. And I think that this practice actually has helped me become more and more fluent, because the key to becoming a fluent speaker is just one thing, okay? To speak as much as possible, because that's how you have done when you while you're acquiring your mother tongue, right? So this is the only way that makes you fluent, and nobody else can make you fluent. You are the one who is responsible for your fluency, and you are the one who makes yourself fluent. So the more you practice, the quicker you can become fluent, and it happens naturally. So you don't have to worry about you're making mistakes, or you don't have to worry about yourself saying wrong things, because the more you do it, the more you listen to the right sentences, natural sentences, the more you expose yourself to natural English, the better you understand what natural sentences are. So you don't have to be corrected by anyone. You can eventually correct yourself. So I've done this so far, and this is something that I began to understand myself naturally. So if I hadn't worked this much, I couldn't have noticed this myself. That's why I'm so happy that I started my strenuous work to improve my English. So, okay, I have to go now. Thank you very much if you are still there. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow too, of course, because I love this practice. Okay, so I really hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Okay, thank you. Take care, okay? Take good care of yourself. Okay, I will too. Thank you. Bye-bye.